He made $100 million while the world was collapsing. He predicted market crashes before anyone even had the word technical analysis. He was admired, feared, and envied. A man who could move the entire market with a single trade. But what if I told you the same genius who mastered the chaos of Wall Street was slowly destroyed by it? This is the story of Jesse Livermore, the man who conquered fear and greed, yet couldn't escape his own. A self-made legend who went from a small-town boy to the great bear of Wall Street, a trader whose methods shaped modern trading psychology, and whose life became a haunting reminder of the emotional battlefield behind every market chart. Stick with me till the end, because this story isn't just about fortune and failure. It's about the human mind versus the market, and the timeless lessons hidden inside. And if you trade, you'll realize this is more than history. It's a reflection of you. Jesse Livermore was born in 1877 in a small town in Massachusetts. He wasn't born into money. In fact, he was supposed to be a farmer, just like his father. But Jesse had something different, a fascination with numbers. At 14, he ran away from home, carrying just $5 in his pocket to work at a brokerage firm as a board boy. His job? Writing stock prices on the chalkboard as they changed. But while others copied numbers blindly, Jesse began to see patterns. He noticed how certain stocks moved before news came out, how volume spikes hinted at something bigger. He was reading the market's language, long before price action was ever a thing. And by the time he was 16, Jesse placed his first real trade. He turned $5 into $60, a fortune for a boy his age. That's when he realized the market rewards those who can think differently. Jesse began frequenting bucket shops, small, local, gambling-style trading rooms where people bet on stock prices without owning actual shares. To most, it was a game of luck. To Jesse, it was a science. He studied human behavior, fear, greed, overreaction, and learned how to time entries perfectly. Soon, bucket shops began banning him. They called him the Boy Plunger, because every time he entered the room, they lost money. He was so accurate that operators literally threw him out. But that didn't stop him. He disguised himself, used fake names, even hired people to place orders for him. Jesse wasn't addicted to money. He was addicted to being right. And in those smoky rooms with chalkboards and telegraph tickers, he built the foundation of what would become the core of modern-day trading psychology. By his early 20s, Jesse had made enough money to take his talent to New York. It was time to step into the real arena, Wall Street. But this wasn't the bucket shop anymore. Here, emotions moved billions. Here, information was power. And Jesse was about to learn his first hard lesson. He entered the market with confidence. But the tape in New York didn't behave like the bucket shops. He lost almost everything. Yet instead of giving up, he analyzed his mistakes. He realized he was trading impulsively, reacting, not observing. Jesse once said, "There is nothing new on Wall Street." There can't be, because speculation is as old as the hills. He learned patience. He learned discipline. And with that, he began rebuilding. This time, with sharper instincts and deeper understanding. By 1907, the U.S. market was on the edge of collapse. Banks were failing. Panic filled the streets. And while everyone was trying to save their investments, Jesse Livermore was shorting everything. He made over $3 million in that crash, equivalent to hundreds of millions today. Even J.P. Morgan himself called him to stop shorting because his trades were fueling the panic. Livermore had become a legend, the great bear of Wall Street. But with fame came temptation and ego. He started living a life of luxury, mansions, yachts, parties, custom suits. October 18th, 2025, 9:16 p.m. He had everything except peace. The market has a way of reflecting our inner world. When Jesse was calm, disciplined, and patient, he won. When he was emotional, greedy, or arrogant, he lost. Over the years, he made and lost fortunes repeatedly. Millions gained, millions gone. He once said, "It was never my thinking that made big money for me. It was always my sitting." The art of patience, waiting for the perfect setup, became his secret weapon. But despite his wisdom, he was human. The same psychological traps that destroy traders today haunted him a century ago. He fought greed, he fought fear, and worst of all, he fought himself. Then came 1929, the most infamous market crash in history. While millions of investors were wiped out, Jesse Livermore saw the signs. He went short massively. When the market crashed, he made $100 million. Imagine, $100 million during the Great Depression when people couldn't even afford food. He became the most hated and admired trader on earth. But even then, he warned others. He said the market always punishes arrogance, including his own. Despite his wealth, fame, and brilliance, Jesse couldn't find peace. He trusted the wrong people. He made emotional decisions. His personal life fell apart. 3 marriages, constant stress, and the weight of being the man who could move markets. And eventually, he lost everything again. By 1934, he filed for bankruptcy, after once being worth the modern equivalent of over $1 billion. He wrote How to Trade in Stocks, a book filled with the principles that still guide traders today: patience, risk management, and self-control. But behind those words was a man fighting his own demons. On November 28, 1940, Jesse Livermore was found dead in a hotel room in New York. In his pocket was a note to his wife that said, "My life has been a failure. I am tired of fighting." But history doesn't remember him for how he died. It remembers him for what he taught. He showed the world that trading is not about predicting the market. It's about mastering yourself. Every modern trader, from hedge fund managers to retail traders, stands on the foundation he built. His story is both a warning and an inspiration. Jesse Livermore proved that knowledge alone isn't enough, that the greatest enemy in trading is not the market, it's emotion. You can have the best strategy, the best timing, even the best intuition, but if you can't master yourself, the market will always win. So the next time you trade, remember this story: the legend who saw patterns before anyone else, the man who made millions from chaos and lost it all to his own mind. Because the truth is, the market doesn't destroy people. People destroy themselves in the market. And as we continue to uncover the greatest trading stories ever told, remember this channel is building the biggest trading and finance community on YouTube. Stay till the end of every story, because each one hides a truth about how the market and the mind truly work.